G'day friends, it's been a little while since my last video, so welcome back to the channel. Yeah, a few things have gone on. Had a couple of rough patches I had to go through there for a few weeks, but here I am back again. But I wanted to talk today about the left-right paradigm. The left-right paradigm. You know, you hear a lot of people these days, especially on the alternative media. You know, some of the bigger channels even, they're so proud that they're they're not in the left-right paradigm. You know, they can see it for what it is. You know, two wings of the same bird, two sides of the same coin, and all that. And they're very proud of this knowledge. They're not in the left-right, and they say, are you still in the left-right paradigm? Like, they know something that you don't. Like, and I'm not really putting them down for at least knowing about this thing they call the left-right paradigm. But are they really out of this thing called the left-right paradigm, or do they just know that it exists? And I put it to you that they are still in the left-right paradigm, even though they can see a glimpse of it. And of course, what is the left-right paradigm? Well, there's a name for it. It's a Greek name, and it's called democracy. Okay, the left-right paradigm is called a democracy, where there's a left and there's a right, and 51% of the population can control the other 49. So, in other words, for it might be mob rule. You know, we know these things, right? And democracy leads to communism, and communism leads to, well, just ask the Ukrainians and the Russians just after World War One. They'll tell you what communism leads to. So, but getting back to it, the left-right paradigm, democracy, there's a left and a right, and you've really got to ask yourself, you know, what's the common denominator? What has the right got in common with the left? I mean, they can criticise the left as much as they like, and there's a lot to be criticised, absolutely. But really, the right has something in common with the left in this thing called democracy. And what is that? Well, it's the deal where you get to force your neighbour to contribute to your welfare, whether it be for public schools, whether it be for your pension when you get older, whether it be to pay for police, fire brigade, whatever the public funds pay for. It's okay if I force my neighbour to contribute through the agency of the clergy of that religious system, the government, and it's okay for them to force me to pay. So that deal is what they have in common. The left and the right are under the same social contract. And so these people that say, oh, you know, you're just in the left-right paradigm, well, if they're still in the system, so to speak, and operating in this manner, which I can most likely guarantee that they are, well, they're being a little bit hypocritical there, in a sense, just in the truest sense. You know, they want to They want to criticise the left-right paradigm because they know that it's a bit of a farce right now with all the voting and everything like that. Yet they can't see deep enough into what they have in common, or what the both sides have in common, and indeed what they are doing by participating in this system of forcing your neighbour. They can't see deep enough to figure out how to actually not be in the left-right paradigm. Okay, and so they're on their way to see these things, and that's really why I'm making this video, because if you've woken up to the left-right paradigm, that's just the beginning. Because the real problem of the left-right paradigm, the biggest sin of the left-right paradigm, is that you operate by force and you take away the liberty of your neighbour in order to secure benefits for your children to go to public school, for yourself to get a pension, for whatever benefit that you enjoy. You have forced your neighbour to contribute to your wealth, whether you're on the left or the right. So as long as you're doing that, you might as well still be in that paradigm, because that's the way that paradigm operates. Now, to truly be out of that left-right paradigm, that democracy, that system of force, you have to go to what Jesus Christ said, and what Moses said, and what Abraham said, and others have said it too since then, but these are the earliest records that we have of this way of thinking, where they say that if the benefits don't come by charity, by way of charity, or the free will offering of the people, and when I say benefits, I'm not saying that necessarily they're a bad thing. Okay, people need help sometimes if they get old or injured or whatever. They need the help of society. But these men said that if the benefits don't come by way of charity, well, that's communism. If you have to force people to love their neighbour and help them and give them benefits in times of need, if people have to be forced to do that, there have to be others that force them to do it, and that's that's really communism in a nutshell. Socialism. That's what Jesus was arguing against, and what he came to free the people from, because he instituted a system of charity where instead of ministers that got paid to force to take your money and to line their pockets, Jesus set up a congregation of ministers that did not exercise authority, but they did receive the benefits of the people. They did receive the sacrifice of the people, but the difference is that the sacrifice came from a free will source, a free will offering. They didn't have to force the people to give. The people gave because that was the level of their thinking and spirit. That they weren't communists, they weren't socialists, they weren't Democrats or Republicans. Well, technically they were Republicans in a sense, because that's what a true republic is. A true republic is where you maintain liberty because no one forces you to pay. You pay what you want, when you want it, to whoever you want. That's the perfect law of liberty. And that's what Jesus came to reinstall after the Pharisees led them off in the wrong direction. The direction of democracy and socialism and communism. And so that's what Jesus was all about. He just had a system of looking after society where, you know, you can give to whoever you want arbitrarily or based on your own choice, But if you give to ministers, they can help people afar off that you may not have access to physically, or you may not even know them. And you know, if you love your neighbour that you don't even know, well, when I say love your neighbour, someone of the same mind and spirit, but maybe off in the distance in another town or even in another country, if you give to that person, even though you don't know them, through this apparatus of the ministry of the church that was established by Jesus Christ, that is what loving your neighbour is. Because even criminals look after each other and help each other out, okay, because they know their fellow criminals, so to speak. But if you look after someone you don't even really know, well, that's really what loving your fellow man is, okay? And if you want to get out of the left-right paradigm, you have to listen to what Jesus said, because he gave the way to do that. And if you pick up the Bible in the New Testament and you read those Gospels and the epistles and you can't see that now after I've told you that, well, read it again, because it's right in there. They were just setting up a society made of small little congregations. You know, there were 10 or 12 people in the congregations, and looked after one another, and they were part of a greater network. And the ministry was called the church, and Jesus was the king of that kingdom, and that kingdom lives on today, because there are people doing this today. And so, to find out more about this, and to truly find the way out of the left-right paradigm and out of democracy, really, go to Preparing You. Go to the left-hand toolbar. There's a section called Books. Click on Books and scroll down, and there are books to read there that show the scriptures, and so you can go and reference them yourself. And there are also audios that you can listen to that explain what Jesus was really doing. And what he was doing was setting up the antithesis of communism. And once you understand that, you'll have a whole different view of what the Bible is, okay, and what the Bible was really talking about. And so I could probably go on, but I won't. Maybe I'll save this for another video, because it's getting on a little bit now. And yeah, go to Preparing You and test what I'm saying. See if you don't understand that Jesus was really setting people free from socialism, from communism, from democracy, and was truly setting up a system that was outside of the left-right paradigm. Anyway, go to Preparing You. I'll see you there. And until next time, peace.